What if the love you let go came back years later, not to comfort you, but to test you in fire? On a storm-soaked frontier, two hearts who chose different dreams collide again, carrying regret, silence, and one truth that changes everything. A letter never read, a goodbye never understood, and a moment that will decide if love was ever real or just unfinished. But when flames rise, and one life hangs in the balance, will they walk away again, or finally choose each other when it matters most? Stay with me, because this story is not about losing love. It is about becoming the kind of person who is finally ready to hold it. Before we dive into the incredible story, do not forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell button so you never miss our powerful, life-changing content. Thank you for listening to this heartfelt story. If it moved you, share it, comments below, and let someone know you are never alone. The wind carried dust across the empty road, and I tasted the past in every breath. I had returned, older, shaped by choices that once felt brave. I saw him before he saw me, standing by the worn fence, hands rough, shoulders steadier than I remembered. My chest tightened, not from fear, but from the weight of everything we had been. We had left each other chasing dreams, mine filled with distant cities, his rooted in stubborn land. Back then, love felt like something that demanded sacrifice, and I chose distance. Now the silence between us felt louder than any goodbye. He turned, eyes meeting mine, and the world stilled. No anger, no blame, only something deeper, something earned. I stepped closer, boots pressing into dry earth, each step heavier than the last. The smell of wood and memory wrapped around me. I thought I lost you, I said. My voice trembled. Unexpected, honest. He exhaled slowly, as if releasing years. You found yourself, he answered. The words struck sharp and soft all at once. In that moment, I saw it clearly. We had broken apart, not from lack of love, but from lack of becoming. The wind rose again, lifting strands of my hair, brushing against his hand. He did not pull away. Neither did I. The world shifted quietly, like something inside us finally aligned. Pain still lived there. So did distance. So did regret. Yet beneath it all, something stronger held steady. We stood closer now. Close enough to feel warmth. Close enough to understand. Love had waited, not unchanged, but grown. And as his fingers slowly curled around mine, felt it. Not the rush of before, but something deeper, something chosen, something built, something that began again, right there, in the space we once left behind. His hand held mine, steady, warm, real. A quiet tremor moved through me, like the earth shifting after a long winter. I looked at him again, truly looked, lines at the edge of his eyes, stories written in sun and struggle, a life lived without me. Guilt brushed against my ribs, sharp, uninvited. I thought leaving would make me whole. The words slipped out, unprotected. His grip tightened slightly, not to hold me back, but to anchor the moment. The land taught me patience, he said, voice low, grounded. A gust of wind rose, stronger now, carrying the scent of rain and distant pine. The sky darkened, clouds gathering like old memories refusing to stay buried. My heart began to race, not from fear of him, but from everything rushing back at once. The last night before I left, the silence, the unsaid words sitting heavy between us. I felt it again, that same pressure, that same ache. I was afraid, I whispered. The admission cracked something open. Fragile. He stepped closer, close enough that I could hear his breath, feel the warmth of it against my skin. So was I, he answered. Thunder rolled faintly in the distance, a low echo across the wide frontier. The air shifted, charged, alive. For a moment, everything felt suspended. Past, present, regret, hope, all colliding in the space between us. My fingers curled tighter into his, seeking, needing. A sudden drop of rain hit my cheek, cold, unexpected. Then another, and another. The storm arrived without warning, fast, intense. Water soaked through my clothes, clung to my skin, but I barely noticed. My focus stayed on him, on the way he looked at me, as if time had carved away everything unnecessary. I never stopped carrying you, he said. The words struck deeper than anything before, sending a sharp wave through my chest. My breath caught, uneven, unsteady, because I had carried him too, through crowded streets, through lonely nights, through every version of myself I tried to build. The rain poured harder, drumming against the earth, against us, and still, neither of us moved away. Something inside me broke open completely, not in pain, but in release. Years of distance, of becoming, of searching, all leading here. His forehead pressed gently against mine, rain running between us, cool against the heat of our skin. I see you now, he murmured. The world blurred at the edges, sound fading, everything narrowing to this single moment. And just as I opened my mouth to speak, a sudden crack of thunder split the sky, loud, violent, too close, flinched, heart jolting. And in that instant, a memory surged forward, sharp, unforgiving, the letter I never answered, the one that changed everything. My breath faltered, lungs tight, because he still did not know. Now, standing here, with his hand in mine, with the storm breaking around us, I realized he was about to hear the truth I had buried for years. My fingers trembled in his, the rain masking the shake, but not the fear rising in my chest. There was a letter, I said, voice unsteady, barely louder than the storm. His brow tightened, confusion flickering, quick, sharp. I wrote to you, he answered, slowly, carefully. Another crack of thunder, closer now, vibrating through the ground beneath us. I never saw it, I whispered. The words landed between us, heavy, unforgiving. His grip loosened, just slightly, enough to let doubt slip in. The wind howled across the field, pulling at our clothes, our balance, our fragile moment. I waited, he said, voice rougher now, edges breaking through. Each word struck like rain against stone. I thought you chose silence. Pain surged through me. Immediate. I thought you let me go. We stood there, two truths colliding, years too late. The storm pressed closer, wrapping around us, demanding to be felt. My heart pounded, loud in my ears, almost drowning out everything else. I left because I believed you wanted me to, I said. The confession tore free, unfiltered. His eyes widened, shock cutting through the calm he had built. I asked you to stay, he replied. The words hit harder than the thunder. A sharp breath escaped me, uneven, fragile, 'cause I remembered now. That night, his voice, quiet, hopeful, and my fear answering louder. The rain blurred my vision, or maybe it was something else. I was not ready, I said, each word slower, heavier, to be chosen, and to choose back. Silence fell between us again. Different now, not empty, but full of understanding forming. He stepped back, just enough to look at me fully. Water dripped from his hair, his face unreadable for a moment. Then something softened. Not forgiveness, not yet, but recognition. We were unfinished, he said. The truth of it settled deep, steady, real. Another flash of lightning split the sky, brief, blinding. For a second, everything stood still again. The field, the storm. And in that suspended breath, felt it, the fragile edge between losing him again and finally holding on. My hand lifted slowly, hesitant, reaching for his once more. Not out of habit, not out of memory, but out of choice. And just as my fingers brushed his skin, a distant of hooves broke through the storm. Fast, approaching, urgent. His head turned sharply, attention pulled away. My chest tightened, because something in the sound, something in the way his body stilled, told me, this moment, this fragile beginning, was about to be tested, in a way neither of us expected. And I stood there, heart racing, hand still hovering near his, waiting, as the presence drew closer, through rain, through thunder, through everything we had just begun to rebuild. The rider burst through the curtain of rain, horse breathing hard, hooves striking the soaked ground with urgency. My pulse jumped, sharp, uneasy. The man pulled back the reins, water streaming from his coat, eyes fixed on him. "There has been trouble," he called out, voice strained, urgent. I felt the shift instantly, the fragile space between us tightening. He stepped away from me, instinct taking over, shoulders straight, presence firm. "What kind of trouble?" he asked. The wind carried the answer in fragments, broken by thunder. Fire, lower fields, spreading fast. The words struck like a blow. My breath caught, lungs tightening as the scent reached me. Faint at first, then unmistakable. Smoke. Not memory, not imagination. Real. He turned toward the horizon, eyes narrowing. In the distance, through sheets of rain, a dull orange glow flickered, long, against the dark sky. My chest tightened further, a mix of fear and something deeper. This land, his life, everything he had built, risked. "I have to go," he said, already moving. The words cut through me, quick, clean. Another moment slipping. "No," I said, stepping forward, my voice stronger now, grounded in something new. "We go." He paused, just long enough to look back at me, rain running down his face, uncertainty flashing. "This is not your burden." "It is now," I answered. The truth settled between us, firm, unshaken, not obligation, not guilt. The rider shifted impatiently, horse restless beneath him. The storm roared louder, as if urging us forward. For a second, everything balanced on a thin edge. Then he nodded. "Once, enough." His hand found mine again. Different this time. Not tentative, not questioning, certain. He pulled me toward the second horse. Movements quick, decisive. The leather felt cold beneath my fingers, slick with rain. My heart pounded as I climbed up, the world tilting with emotion. He mounted behind me, steady, close. I felt the solid warmth of him, even through the storm. "Hold on," he said, low, close to my ear. The horse surged forward. The trembled beneath us, hoofs pounding in rhythm with my heartbeat. Wind tore past, rain stinging against my skin. The glow ahead grew stronger, clearer. Smoke thickened in the air, burning, real. My chest tightened with each breath, but I did not pull away. I leaned back slightly, into him, feeling the strength, the presence, the man he had become. And in that wild rush forward, through storm, through fire, through everything rising to meet us, I realized this was what love had been shaping us for. Not ease, not perfect timing, but this, standing together. When everything threatened to fall apart, the flames leapt higher in the distance, hungry, unstoppable. And as we rode straight toward them, my fingers tightened around his, knowing, this time, neither of us was turning away. Even as the fire roared closer, and something deep within the smoke shifted, moving, waiting, just beyond what we could yet see. The fire breathed like a living thing, low, hungry, stretching across the fields he loved. Heat reached us before we arrived, pressing against my skin despite the rain. The horse slowed, uneasy, sensing what waited ahead. Voices cut through the storm, shouting, urgent, layered with fear. Figures moved through smoke and flame, silhouettes bending, lifting, fighting. He guided us down, boots hitting the soaked with force. Stay close, he said, but I was already moving, drawn forward, heart pounding with something fierce. A woman stumbled near the fence, coughing, hands shaking, caught her, steadying her weight. Her eyes met mine, wide, grateful, terrified. Water buckets, she gasped. I nodded, breath tight. The world blurred into motion, hands passing weight, wood scraping, water sloshing. The rhythm took over, fast, relentless. Flames snapped higher, crackling with sharp bursts. Each sound struck deep, like warning, like memory. Smoke thickened, burning my throat, my lungs. I pushed forward anyway, because he was there, moving through it, strong, focused. For a moment, I lost sight of him. Panic surged, quick, cold. I turned sharply, eyes searching through the haze. Then I saw him, near the far edge, where the fire burned hottest. A beam had fallen, blocking part of the path, and beyond it, small shape moved. My breath caught, child, frozen, trapped between fear and flame. He saw it too. Without hesitation, he moved, fast, decisive. My heart slammed against my ribs, every instinct pulling me after him. No, the word tore from me. But he was already there, lifting the beam, muscles straining, firelight flickering across his face. The heat surged, intense, unforgiving. The child cried out, "Ma!" Sharp. Time stretched thin, each second heavier than the last. The beam shifted, just enough. He reached through, grasping the child, pulling them close. Relief hit hard, brief, blinding. Then the wind changed, sudden, violent. The flames leapt sideways, faster than before, closer, too close. A rush of sparks exploded upward, burning bright against the dark sky. He turned, child held tight, searching for a way back. But the path had narrowed, fire pressing in, smoke swallowing space. My chest tightened painfully, lungs fighting for air. Everything inside me screamed, move. I stepped forward, into the heat, into the fear, ignoring the sting, the smoke, the danger clawing at my senses. I am here, I shouted, my voice raw, but steady. His eyes found mine, and in that instant, everything else fell away again. Years, the distance, pain. Only this remained. Trust. I moved closer, each step deliberate, each breath harder. The flames roared louder, closing in, testing every inch between us. And just as I reached out toward him, fingers stretching through heat and smoke, something behind me cracked, loud, splintering. The ground shifted slightly beneath my feet. A sharp jolt of fear shot through me, because whatever was breaking was big. And it was falling, fast, right toward us. The crack split the air, sharp, final, turned, just as the burning beam gave way, falling, fast, unstoppable. A surge of fear shot through me, cold, piercing. Then his voice, look at me, strong, steady, cutting through everything. I did, and somehow, the chaos softened at the edges. He moved forward, child held close. Trust written in every step. I stepped too, ignoring the heat, the smoke clawing at my lungs. The beam crashed behind me, sparks exploding upward, close enough to feel their bite. But we were already past it, already choosing forward. Hands reached for us, pulling, guiding, lifting the child to safety. A wave of relief broke through. Deep, overwhelming. The storm began to win at last. Rain falling harder, cooling the angry flames. One by one, the fire weakened, its roar fading into hissing. Silence followed, heavy, earned. I stood there, breathing hard, heart still racing. Then I felt him beside me, not distant, not uncertain, real. Our eyes met again. No storm between us now. No years left unspoken, only truth. We almost lost everything, I said. He shook his head slowly. No, he answered, voice quiet, certain. We found what matters. The words settled deep, warming something inside me that fear never touched. Around us, people gathered, checking on one another, hands steady, hearts open. Pain still existed, loss still lingered, but so did kindness, so did strength, so did love. I looked at him, really looked, and understood. Love was never about perfect moments, or perfect timing. It was about becoming, through distance, through mistakes, through fire, becoming someone who stays, who understands, who chooses again, even after everything. His hand found mine, fingers weaving together, natural, certain, and this time, held on, not out of fear, not out of longing, but out of knowing that real love grows, through trials, through truth, through courage, and when two hearts are ready, no past, no storm, no fire, can ever pull them apart again.